Hey guys, welcome back. Amy here from Healthy Home Mama, and today I have a sourdough bread recipe video for you where I am going to be walking you through two different sourdough recipes that I'm making. And here you will see me feeding my starter. So I have discarded half of my starter because it was in my fridge, and I am adding back in some flour and water, and then I am going to let it set out all day to get it ready to start my first recipe tonight. If you are new here, my channel is all about healthy living, homemaking, productivity, and family life. So if you like that kind of thing, hit the link below to subscribe. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and let's get started. So you'll see me here mixing together my ingredients for the first recipe. My first recipe is sourdough dinner rolls, and this I mix up the night before the ingredients, and then I let it set out on the counter overnight before I finish shaping and forming these rolls in the morning. This recipe is from rockyhedgefarm.com, and the other recipe is from farmhouseonboone.com. I am more familiar with Farmhouse on Boone, and I have learned most of my sourdough stuff from her. So I will link both recipes down below so that you have the ingredient list and how to do it for yourself. But I am by no means an expert at sourdough recipes, sourdough bread making. I have actually only made sourdough a few times, but I really enjoy baking. I really enjoy making bread and all of that stuff. So I am by no means an expert, but I love these recipes. I have tried these recipes, and I mean, all of the recipes I've tried from Farmhouse on Boone have turned out really good. So definitely give them a try if you're going to do any of these recipes. I would highly recommend these dinner rolls because they are absolutely delicious. And as you will see with this recipe, I am actually making these dinner rolls for a barbecue pulled beef sandwich. It is so good with these rolls. When I first wanted to start sourdough bread making, I actually looked up how to get a starter started from Farmhouse on Boone. And I have heard from people who have tried making a starter and it not being successful. My first attempt was successful, and it's all thanks to the recipe that I found on her website. Hey guys, I'm going to be making two different kinds of sourdough bread today. I have sourdough dinner rolls and then sourdough bread. So right now I'm going to start on the sourdough bread, and I'm just measuring out all of the ingredients. I'm going to let it rest for a little while, and then I'm going to do a stretch and fold. And we actually are leaving here soon to go to a playground, and we have a haircut appointment. So I can't do the full stretch and folds as you'll see that the recipe calls for. But I'm going to hope that it still turns out. We'll see. So here's my kitchen scale, and I have this bowl put on it, and I have it placed at 0. And I'm going to go ahead and start measuring out my ingredients and how much of each is needed. Okay, I've got it cleared out, and now I'm going to do some Himalayan pink salt, and I'm trying to get it to 0.35. The last part is warm water, and we're trying to get it here to 11.46. So let's see how close I can get it. Okay, we're gonna go with that. And then I'm just gonna mix it up and let it rest for 30 minutes. And I didn't show it here, but I added the starter because obviously that's what you need as well to make the bread, but I did not, for some reason, video that part. So here I am mixing it all together, and then I am going to cover it up with a tea towel and allow it to rest for 30 minutes before I start the stretch and fold. And I hope one thing that you get from watching this video today is that you don't have to do everything perfect or right or know exactly how to do it for your bread to turn out, because that is definitely the case with me trying out these recipes. Okay, I just finished the bread and I put the tea towel over it, and now I'm gonna do this I mixed up last night. So this is the dinner rolls, and it has risen to that. I'm going to start putting these in the pan, and then I will cover that with a tea towel, and I'll start my stretch and folds on the bread, and then I gotta leave. So that's all I have time for right now, and then we'll finish it when I get back. So first thing with this next step is just getting the dough out of the bowl, and then taking off pieces to make this. I did 12 dinner rolls. You can be more precise, or you can just pull off little bits at a time and form it against your work surface like I am showing you here. And then you're just going to put it in your pan and allow it to rise for, I forget how many hours, but I mean, I was gone for a few hours. I think it's like 6 hours. Okay, there they are. And now I'm just going to cover it with a damp towel. I'm gonna do the stretch and folds now. Okay, that's it for now. So off to haircuts and the playground, and then we will finish this up in a little bit. Okay, let's check and see if they have doubled. They have definitely doubled in size. They look amazing. So oven is set to 375. Let me get the drawer pulled out. I just pulled them out. I put some butter on top and some honey. Yum. These smell amazing. I don't know if I can wait till tomorrow night. Okay, so the bread has risen all day, and it is nice and bubbly on top, and I am going to get the next steps done to get it put into the fridge for the overnight rise. So here I'm just putting some flour in my bowls. I do not have Banneton baskets, but I do have bowls. I put towels down, spread some flour, and it works really well. Next, I'm going to flour my work surface, and then I am going to get the bread out of the bowl and split it in two, because this actually makes 2 loaves. And then I'm going to form it into the 2 loaves, just like I did with the rolls, just working it against the work surface and making some nice round loaves. Once I have them formed, I will then flip them upside down into the bowls, so that in the morning when I bring them out of the bowls, it will be right side up when I flip them out. So covering them with plastic and then putting them into the fridge for overnight. So they will be in the fridge overnight for 12 to 15 hours is the recommended amount of time. And then next morning after 12 hours, the recipe actually calls for setting your oven to 500 degrees. I have found that setting mine to 450 works. So I don't know, maybe it's just my oven. Maybe I should be doing it at 500. I don't know. I just prefer it at 450. So getting it out of the fridge right now, and then I am going to put the Dutch oven into the oven to preheat to get it nice and hot. So preheating it for 30 minutes. It actually might be an hour. It might be an hour before. And then I don't have two Dutch ovens, and so my other loaf is going in this pan. It still turns out really good. I sprinkle the bottom of this pan and the bottom of the Dutch oven with cornmeal. And then I am flipping out the loaves. Like I said, once I flip them out, then it's right side up now. So dusting it with a little bit of flour, shaping it a little bit, and then I'm going to put it in the pan. And you can, sometimes I've done designs. I don't have the right tool for it, and so I have not played around with it very much, but it still turns out beautiful. So I'm also not, as you can see here, preheating this pan because it is just a ceramic, casserole dish, and I don't know, if it would be a benefit to preheat it. I'm assuming not, so I've just not done it. But the bread in this pan will still turn out good. The crust might not be as crisp as the one in the Dutch oven, but overall the bread still turns out really good. Okay, so the Dutch oven is nice and preheated, and then I will just sprinkle some cornmeal in the bottom to help it not to stick, and then put my bread in and put my other pan in, and I will put the lid on and close the oven and set my timer for 20 minutes. So after 20 minutes, I will then lower the oven temperature to 425 and set my timer for 25 minutes and take both lids off of both pans for the remainder of the time. And after 25 minutes, they are nice and golden, and they look absolutely beautiful and delicious, and they smell delicious. Okay, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me today as I made these sourdough bread recipes. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Check out the recipes down in the description box, and I will see you guys back here real soon. Bye.